Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another 30 beautiful values to learn from the Quran. Today we are talking about a very, very important value, which is to avoid making assumptions. And Allah gives us guidance about this value in Surah Al-Hujurat, which is the chapter of the rooms, chapter 49, in ayah number 12. That's verse number 12. And this was revealed in Medina. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعض الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا والله يغضب بعضكم بعضا. So what does this mean in English? The English interpretation is, O you who have believed, avoid much negative assumption. Indeed, some assumption is sin, and do not spy or backbite each other. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. So what can we learn about this? Well, it is so important not to make negative assumptions about other people for two reasons. First of all, we don't know the whole situation. Whenever we're seeing someone, some situation unfolding, we don't know the whole story. So for example, maybe I'm driving down the street and someone is behind me, they're speeding, they're driving erratically, and I get really annoyed. They're on my tail, and I feel like they're going to run into me. And maybe I think, my God, they're a horrible driver, they're an aggressive driver. What's wrong with that person? Maybe what I don't know is that they're trying to rush to the hospital to get to someone who's in an emergency situation, right? I don't know the whole story. And likewise, maybe one day I'm in a rush somewhere. I'm being maybe a little bit more short with people. I'm not really taking the time to get to know someone or be polite with someone because I'm in a real rush. And that person might think I'm really rude. It might make a negative assumption about me. But I don't want them to judge me just based on that one interaction with them. So it's important not to make negative assumptions about people. So in the Quran, as this book is telling us, Allah is telling us to avoid making assumptions. If we hear something negative about someone, we should pay attention and evaluate the information, but we should not disclose it to others. So to give another example about backbiting and assumptions. So maybe you're in your class and you ask for a friend to give you some of their cookies, and they say no. And so you might go around telling people, oh yeah, that person's really stingy. They're not very generous at all. Well, maybe they were just really hungry that day. There could have been other reasons. Maybe that was just a one-time thing, but you're there, now you're spreading negative assumptions about that person. Okay? And you wouldn't want them to do that to you if they took a negative assumption about you. Maybe you spy to justice. Maybe you spy on them, looking at what exam grade they got. Oh, they got a 70 on their math test. You got a 90. So you go around telling people they did really bad on the math test and they're no good at math. Well, maybe that was just a fluke. Maybe they usually get better grades, right? But you're spreading negativity about them when you were spying on them. Maybe you catch them in a lie. Maybe somehow you realize they were dishonest with you. Maybe you realize that they're not very polite. They don't say thank you. So you might notice these negative things about someone, and you spread that negativity around. People might spread negativity around because they want to feel better about themselves. So instead of just trying to be a good person, instead they try to reveal the flaws of other people. That's not what we should do. Instead, we should be good examples. If you see someone being stingy, you see someone being impolite, they're not saying please and thank you. You see someone maybe being dishonest, rather than going and spreading rumors about that person, saying they're stingy, they're liars, they're cheaters, whatever, you just be a good model to them. Offer some of your food to them to show how to be generous. Say please and thank you to them. If you notice being dishonest a lot, well, then maybe just avoid them. But you don't need to go and spread rumors about that person. So again, we want to, rather than spreading negativity, we want to be models of positivity ourselves so that we can influence other people. So how do we become better people with this guidance from Allah? Well, by avoiding making assumptions, we build our critical thinking, right? We always try to imagine different situations for a person's behavior. Why did they do that? Why was that person so rude to me? Maybe there's something else going on in their life. So think critically. And by not talking negatively about other people, then I nurture my own honesty, right? And this goes back to this positive thinking um, value that we discussed a couple days ago about thinking positively and not having negative assumptions. So let's ask Allah for help with this. Oh Allah, please help us to avoid making negative assumptions about others. Please help us to avoid backbiting. Please help us to avoid spying and spreading false information about people. Let us stay far and clear from backbiting, rumors, and gossip, and think positively about those around us. Ameen. We'll see you next time, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.